What's up, people? This is Rob from LearnBridge.nyc, and the video you're about to see is a cool collaboration that I did with Chris Willenken, who is a true world-class bridge player that lives right here in New York City. He and I have put together several videos that I'll be releasing over the next couple weeks, and these are all in honor of our upcoming card play series at the Cavendish Bridge Club, and that'll be during the first 2 weeks of June. And these are classes that are designed for the everyday duplicate player. You're going to be exposed to lots of expert level thought and put in situations that may have baffled you in the past. And our job and our goal with these series of classes is to put you into the mind of the expert bridge player, to let you know what we're thinking about in these situations. The genesis for this type of class just came from a conversation Chris and I were having. I was telling him about a regional tournament I played when I first started getting back into bridge after taking about 20 years off. And I was riding home from that tournament back to the city with a guy named Bjorn Felenius. Most of you will remember Bjorn. He's a very high level Swedish professional who was just a fine bridge player. And I asked him about a hand. And before answering, and really, I don't even know if he ever answered the question, he just gave me exactly what he would be thinking about in this situation. What are the cards that are around the table? Left hand opponent has a six card suit. Partner's likely to have this sort of shape, and on and on and on. And it was a mind blowing experience for me at that point because I was sitting in the back seat saying, everything you just said, I never thought about once. And it shows you how deep the expert player will think about certain situations and what they're thinking about and why. And that's what we want to bring to all of you with these courses. I think it'll come through in the video you're about to see and the others that will follow. And I hope you can join us for one of these classes. The schedule is right above you on the website. It's to the upper right. You'll see Next Level Bridge, and the class schedule is right there. So if you want to attend and if you're an everyday duplicate player, this is a class not to be missed. Please sign up and we'll see you in June. All right, folks, enjoy the video. Okay, so board number 5, Chris, your right hand opponent opens 2 diamonds and you just overcall 2 spades. Do you think of doing anything else here at all?
Well, I'm a little bit stronger than I might be for a two-spade overcall, but usually just going to overcall the 5-card major here because doubling and then bidding spades later is going to show a really strong hand, and I don't quite have that. So I'm just hoping to get by the first round,
And
hoping to get another chance.
And then the thing that I didn't do that you did, which was obviously much better, when they bid 4 diamonds on your left, it went pass pass, and you reopened with double. And I didn't do that, and I asked a couple of our other pro friends, and they said I'm an idiot. So tell me why double here is just better than letting them play, obviously.
Well, I thought double was a little bit of a gamble, but so far, partners really only had the opportunity to talk about his spade support, right? If he's has a bunch of hearts or a bunch of clubs, he's not really going to be in a great spot to just trot something out on his own over
Right.
4 diamonds. And so when I come in here with the takeout double, I'm hoping that my partner, who probably has a few points here, right? The opponents made a preemptive auction. They're not trying for game. So I'm thinking my partner's going to have just a little bit, might have his own long suit.
Yeah,
So
and
in a way, getting supported in spades was less good than some of the other good things that could have happened to me. Maybe I find partner with 6-card heart suit or
yeah.
something like that. And double just keeps all of the options alive, including possibly if partner has some decent diamonds and no good long suit of his own, he can pass 4 diamonds doubled. And here I am with my ace king.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not too sad about that.
Sure. And the interesting thing here in a robot tournament, it's not going to really make a huge difference. But in a realistic situation with these colors, against an expert pair, you would expect their ranges to be pretty wide here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think people might well be stealing here, particularly if they're worried that our side is going to be on for 3 no trump. So they might
Yeah.
decide to get past 3 no trump as quickly as possible so we can't bid it. And so if the 4 diamond bidder is sort of fooling around in that way, and partner sitting there with the 3-no trump bid, he's going to be very happy to pass when we reopen with a takeout double here.
For sure. All right, cool. So you ended up in four spades and you played it from your side of the table. So take me through what you're thinking when the dummy comes down after the King of Diamonds lead.
Yeah, so I see that we're in kind of a tight spot. We've got a diamond to lose for sure,
Yep.
and two hearts to sort of worry about. Right after the ace, the other two hearts are a pretty big worry.
Sure.
Um, and then we've got the trumps. And so, barring a miracle position where I'm able to cash the ace king of trumps and drop the doubleton queen,
That happens all the time for me.
yeah, it's just totally normal. I'm gonna have to do something about the hearts,
Sure.
and I'm also having the thought that if the trumps are really foul, like let's say that West is sitting over there with Queen 10 fourth of trumps,
And that's kind of, common
which
in
is
an auction like
quite
this, right?
possible,
Yeah.
right? Quite possible after partner has preempted that the preemptor's partner would show up with the trump stack and the preemptor would show up with the singleton.
Sure.
But it looks like this is thin enough that I can't afford to worry about that kind of worst case
Yeah,
scenario.
gotcha. Because if that's happening, you're probably just hopeless, right?
Right, exactly. So if I had here the Queen of Hearts in addition, let's say, now this would be looking very different where I have one heart loser, one diamond loser, and maybe I could start to think about, well, if there's Queen 10 fourth of spades, maybe I can try to hold it to only one spade loser. But
Right.
here I just have to start with a favorable assumption that the spades are reasonable. If they're super reasonable, Queen Doubleton, I'm going to be in great shape.
Sure.
But if it's Queen third, then I've got some work to do in the heart suit.
So after they led the diamond, they switched to a club, which you win in your hand.
So I'm going ahead with my plan here. I'm going to cash the ace king of spades,
Bingo.
waiting and hoping. Okay,
Yay.
it's good news, bad news, right? Good
Yep.
news is I'm still in the game because the trumps did divide evenly, 3-2.
Yep.
Bad news is the queen of spades hasn't dropped yet. So I've got to make something out of the hearts. And this heart suit might look a little bit boring. It might look like, well, I'm just going to need to find the king and the queen of hearts in West in order to make two heart tricks. So
Right.
that straightforward plan would be sort of leading up towards the ace jack of hearts, and if West splits, so-called splits, plays either the king or the queen, I can either win the ace and then cross back to hand and lead again towards the jack,
Yep.
or I could duck the heart honor and then later lead low to the jack. And either way, West is not going to be able to prevent me from getting two heart tricks. But I'm trying to think a little bit more deeply about this, and I'm wondering if there might not be an end play available on this hand because if East has the king doubleton or the queen doubleton in hearts, it might be one of these hands, depending on the rest of the distribution, where I can lead a heart to the ace early on. And now, if East throws away his king or his queen, I'm going to lead up to the jack later and make a trick with the jack.
Yep.
Whereas if he holds on to his king or his queen, I might be able to lead that suit to him. And maybe if I time it just right, East will have nothing but diamonds left in the end position that we've reached.
Right.
If that's the case and he's forced to lead a diamond, I'll be able to throw the third round of hearts from my hand and trumpet in the dummy with the jack of
So
spades.
in this case, and this is kind of like a hand that we saw earlier, about a couple weeks ago for the hand of the week on the site here, you have an opportunity to get rid of their good options,
Yes,
which is
that's
why.
always how an end play works. We're trying to take away all their good options and force them to choose from bad options. So the first order of business is to cross the dummy and then to lead the five of diamonds and trumpet.
And now they don't
And
have a safe diamond
right,
exit.
right. So
So
now
either
that means
player,
that later on, as long as I still have a trump in the dummy, if they ever lead a diamond, it's going to be good for me.
bingo.
So I'm going ahead and cashing a third round of clubs here. And now I find out that my fancy plan here is not going to work
Right.
because What is East's distribution? Well, we don't know for sure, but we are pretty sure he started with six diamonds and we know two clubs.
Exactly. Unless
So
unless Joe Grew is on your right, and then it might be a 5 card suit or
yeah, it's possible, it's possible. But even Joe Grew in second chairs, usually having five diamonds, especially six diamonds rather,
right
especially since he's got a suit headed by only the Ace Jack. We know from West's King
from
of
the King of
Diamonds
Diamonds lead.
lead.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we know that one of two things is true here. Either East has three card hearts, in which case our end play isn't going to work because we can't kind of force East to come on lead with that Doubleton Heart honor that we were hoping for.
Sure.
Or like here, where East does have a Doubleton Heart, he's also got the Queen of Spades. And why does that matter? Because if we duck a heart into East at some point, he can cash the Queen of Spades, which extracts the dummy's last trump.
And now they can safely lead a diamond.
And now a diamond is totally safe.
Yep.
So I see that my fancy plan's not going to work. So it's back to the simple plan of just hoping that the Jack of Hearts is on side. So I go ahead and cash the Jack of Clubs here just in case East wants to make a misdefense and rough with the Queen of Spades
And then
and kind
play
of end play
themselves.
himself.
Exactly. That's what I always hope for. But
But yes, but one thing about the robots on BBO, they very rarely make a mistake in this kind of spot. So
yeah.
I was hoping for it, but not really expecting it. And so now
And
I'm going to go
and this
ahead.
is and this is interesting right here. This is a play that a lot of the amateur players will get wrong. So when they play a low heart and they see the queen, they'll just reflexively play the ace. And
Yeah, so this is actually a really important one. Let's look at this position and see what would have happened if when Declara played the Queen of Hearts, I had won the ace in the dummy.
so let's say we got rid of the ace instead, right? So we now just have another low card and the jack.
Right.
The problem
And so
is we're in the wrong hand.
yeah, we can't lead towards the jack now, so we're going to have to sort of make a passive play of leading the jack of spades off of the dummy just to avoid the end play.
Right.
But now East is going to win as West pitches the three of hearts, and they're going to play a diamond, killing my last trump.
Yep.
And so the problem is in the two card ending, when I now go to lead towards the Jack of Hearts to establish it, West wins his King of Hearts and then also cashes a diamond.
Exactly.
So this duck helps me to retain control. If you want to, it looks kind of like a complicated play, but if you think about it in a certain way, it's actually quite simple, which is that we're hoping to use the hearts for tricks.
Yep.
And when I duck the heart queen here, what I've really done is I've knocked out West's stopper in the heart suit, right? Now we
Yep.
see that the heart suit's ready to run, whereas had I won the ace of hearts, West still has a stopper and I'm not in the right hand to knock out his stopper. So
Right.
just like every no trump hand you've ever played or any suit contract where you're worried about running out of trumps, you just want to knock out the opponent's stoppers, and
Yep.
this is just a sort of a fancy way to do it.
And here at the end, they chose to lead a diamond, obviously, which we know was going to be good for us. If they lead a heart, you plan to take the finesse anyway, and that's the key. If they let a low heart here instead of this card, which you just get a slough rough on, but if instead they let a heart, we just play the jack, right? If they play low,
Exactly. And if they cashed the queen of trumps, because remember, we don't know at this point
right?
what the distribution is, and then played a diamond to tap me, I would just have to go ahead and play a
Yep.
heart to the jack, and I've just reduced to my chance of finding the king queen of hearts on side.
Yep. Only way to make it. Really cool. All right. Thanks a lot, Chris, and we'll see
My
you next
pleasure.
time.